Skid again, guys. I just feel like I should take the opportunity to, motivate a little, because I'm not gonna give you my entire life story just yet, because we are just growing, and as we're growing, I'm not considering you my subscribers. I'm gonna consider you guys my family. But I have been through a lot in my entire teenage life, and it actually inspired me to do more, and it made me into the person I am today. Like, I no longer look at life from the troubled side, because there are many different ways to look at life than to just think about what you have been through. Stop looking at what you don't have and start being thankful for what you do have, because based on life right now, I've seen a lot of people life go downhill because they suddenly stop dreaming, they stop believing, they stop being thankful for what they have right in front of them, and they start thinking about what they need ahead of time before it's given to them. The thing is, you need to have faith, and don't ever give up on faith, because it can do a lot for you. So basically, I grew up with my grandmother. It's just a small story, and whoa, sorry. Yeah, I grew up with my grandma, and it it hasn't been it wasn't that it wasn't a suffering stage of my life, because she took really good care of me, and for that I am very, very grateful. She she was the type of person that if there was only half a bottle of water, then she'd give it to her grandchildren and not think about herself. That's the kind of home I grew up in. And when I was 11 years old, my grandma lost her sight. And everything went from that point. My dad's been abroad ever since. Like, he was on the ship. He worked, he was been like, he's been on the ship ever since I think I was like 2 when he left. So there, it was just my grandma. My mom, she said she was, forced to leave, which is, it's understandable now that I grew up now, so I don't really care about the fact that, I wasn't seeing that face. But, there's always two sides to the story, so, you know, I'm kind of over that stage. But what I'm saying is my grandma lost her sight, and everything went downhill from there. And I basically didn't know, like, she started teaching me things like in the middle of the process. She was losing her sight when she was teaching me. I was too young to understand, but I was learning. Like, when my grandma lost her sight, the first time I cooked, I was 12, and she was telling me exactly what to do. It's crazy. And I'm a great cook right now. When my grandma left, I'm actually from Jamaica. If you guys know the flag, let me. If you guys know the flag, then you know that I'm from Jamaica. So she left and she came to the U.S. I'm currently in the U.S. right now. This is just a little bit of home with me, and I had family members who treated me bad. But that was the first time I've ever been treated like a nobody. I was about 11 because she came up. Yeah, I think she traveled when I was 11, and I didn't let that define me. I've been through the worst, and if you're watching this video and you know you're that person who treated me bad, I'm just gonna say right now, I forgive you, because I'm doing good. I'm eating right. My family is good. My grandma's good. Everybody is good. And that's not because, you know, I thought about the fact that you did that to me. It's just because God is an awesome God, and I never gave up on myself, or I never gave up on life, because I went through hell after my grandma lost her sight. I started defending myself when I was old. I was like 15 when I started defending myself. I was like, yo, enough is enough. At some point, I started relying on these, my earphones. I blocked people out completely, and I started writing music. And I wrote my first song when I was 15, and that was telling a life story. And as I grew older, I became so awesome at writing songs. Like, I wrote what I feel. I think less and I write more. What I'm saying is, guys, really, and I cannot stress this enough, do not give up on life because you went through hell. Do not turn to drugs. Do not turn to alcohol. Do not think suicidal thoughts. Do not think about doing anything that is going to stop you from progressing to the person that you're supposed to be. If you understand what I'm saying. Because if I was in the position, like, if I was in that position where I'm going to say, oh, this happened to me and I'm going to turn to this for help, I'm going to rely on this for help, I wouldn't be where I am right now. And that's crazy. And God knows, sometimes I really thought about it. Don't get me wrong, because nobody's perfect. Everybody thinks, some type of way, especially when they're going through a hard time. But it was a thought, and it was a thought that count, but it wasn't worth it, because there's still somebody, he's holding your breath. And a lot of people don't believe that there is an ultimate power, but there is an ultimate power. Please do not give up on life because you went through a rough patch. Things will get better eventually. And it's getting better now. And it's gonna be okay. And it's okay to cry, and it's okay to scream, it's okay to yell, it's okay to be angry, it's okay to show emotions, because that's a part of being a human. You cannot be on earth and not feel anything. That's just bottling everything up. And over the years, I feel like I was doing that to myself in a sense, like bottling everything up, and it became a problem for me because I became so angry, and it's not a good feeling. It's not a nice feeling angry when you have to let everything go at once. At one point, people thought I was crazy because I went through so much, and I was not talking about it. I was just holding it on inside because there was nobody to talk to, really. So which is why I'm here right now, encouraging you guys to stay focused, be true, and if you have to cry, if you have to scream, if you have to yell, if you have to be angry, let it all out from early. Because when everything comes down, it's not a good feeling. And at that point, you'll feel like you're drowning, like you're literally underwater, and you're just waiting to lose everything that you've worked for. Be strong, speak over yourself, motivate yourself, encourage the people you love, encourage people around you. Be forgiving, no matter what people do to you. Stay true to you. This was a message from your girl, Tip Mount.